Delco. What is Delco? Urban Dictionary, maybe the best definition of any place in the history of any place. Delco is the nickname for Delaware County. Not just a place to live, it's a way of life. Delco isn't something you obtain with a short visit while you're passing through. Never has been, or don't actually live here, you just won't understand. Delco is something you can spot across the bar while out of town. Speaking of bars, there's 42-to-1 ratio when it comes to bars to libraries. Delco people love being from Delco. I don't know if there's anything special from Delco, except being a Delco guy, I kind of like it.
What is up, Delaware County, and welcome back for another high school baseball preview episode. Today, we're starting off the Interact here with the Haverford School Forwards. We got Caleb Siever, Jacob Horwitz, and Gabe Danisi. Gentlemen, you're already giggling. I love it. How you guys doing?
Doing great. How are you?
Not too bad. I appreciate you guys taking the time to come in. Before we get into the 2026 season, I kind of just wanted to take a second to talk a little bit about last season. You know, you guys had a new coach. You had to replace 3 senior arms. Brenner Green misses the year. I know the record wasn't what you wanted, but what were your kind of overall thoughts on how the season went as a whole?
I guess I'll start us off. So I was hurt last year. So kind of looking at it from an outside view, not as like a player, but just like someone who's like kind of like a spectator. That didn't show who we were as a team, definitely. That was kind of like a speed bump that I would say our program went through. Missing a key guy like Brenner, other key guys as well. Like I would say overall, like that's not who we are. And I think our whole goal this year is to show everyone that the team last year wasn't who we are.
Yeah, I think last year there were just a lot of times when the team maybe felt out of sync, but then towards the end we kind of got the momentum together. And I think having a new coach for us, like we all at practice, off the field, we got adjusted to that really well. I just think this year we're gonna find a way to make it click on the field, and just looking forward to kind of being the oldest guy, and as far as this year goes, trying my hardest to set the standard.
Yeah, I mean, as anyone knows, switching to a new coach is tough. There were some growing pains, and I think everybody kind of saw them out on live. So it was a little bit tough to just kind of come in, especially losing Brenner. That was huge. But we had some guys who stepped up into some roles, and maybe some roles that needed to be filled. And I think that this year we're going to come out with a new face and surprise some people.
So off on that, how valuable was it for the young guys, you know, like Owen Murphy, like both the Lawlers, to just be getting these big varsity innings and at-bats for a team that, you know, was pretty young as a whole? Like, I know you guys didn't lose too much, but just to be able to, you know, get thrown out there pretty much into the fire for their sake and just be like, all right, we can learn from this.
Yeah, I think that was huge. I mean, as far as some of the sophomores go, Little Lawler and Owen, they're often in the group chat telling us how excited they are for the season, and I think that's a really positive sign, especially with a player that young. As a freshman, in Murphy's case, and then even in Zach's case, just stepping up so early, I think is going to really set them up well to just kind of keep taking quality at bats, having quality starts just all throughout their high school career. And it's really awesome that they kind of got exposed to the big stage, or at least the stage of the Interact as freshmen, because I'm 100% certain that they're just ready to keep stepping up and level up their game.
Yeah, I mean, I think Jacob said it pretty well. Owen Murphy, Zach Lawler, couple other sophomores might pop up this year, might surprise some guys, but those two in particular are going to be, at least last year, they were 2 key guys for us, stepped up huge. Zach had a bunch of quality at bats. I know him in the offseason, he's made extremely great progress. Like, he's made really good progress overall. Murphy as well. Those are going to be 2 guys that are going to help us out like a lot.
That kid's still growing. I feel like every time I see him, he's like 2 inches taller.
Yeah. They're pretty big.
Probably.
Yeah. So last thing about 2025, you guys, you know, for as down as the season was for a lot, you guys won a playoff game took a very good Perkiomen School team down to the wire. So, like, how valuable for that group was it to be playing in those intense games, or maybe earlier in the season you weren't really sure how things were going to unfold?
I think it's huge to get, especially those young guys, that experience of, okay, we're going to play good baseball and we're going to win baseball games. To play at that level and to continue to succeed, it's huge for the guys like Zach and Owen, who are freshmen at the time, now sophomores. They have that experience now as opposed to some of the other guys who maybe didn't see as much varsity time. So those guys come in, and we're expecting to do just the same this year, and it extended even beyond where we made it last year. So it's great to have those guys with the previous experience of already having some high pressure situations where a lot is expected of them at a young age. So now they're ready to kind of get back into the swing of that.
Absolutely. All right, going into 2026, Gabe, how excited are you to actually get back on the field? Like you said, you had to watch the whole season last year, and you get to go out there and be one of the guys on the mound this year.
Nah, I mean, I'm juiced. That's all I really have to say. I mean, not really having any. I think I have a total of 7 varsity innings because I just kept getting hurt, and I think this year, I mean, not just myself, but the staff alone, I think we're going to show people not only in Delaware County but across the state that we can play ball.
Are you more excited for that or to be a Delco Baseball Now intern?
I don't know. I mean, both of them are pretty good.
Pretty glamorous.
Yeah, I mean, too hard to pick between one or the other.
Jacob, a question I would have asked you last year, but now you have that year back from Tommy John under your belt. Did you feel like during the year you kind of felt more and more comfortable? Because I know for me, I didn't fully tear my UCL, but like first couple games out there, I'm throwing. I'm like, is this thing just gonna explode again?
Yeah, I mean, I think last year entirely was honestly just a low, and progressively it didn't really get better until the fall. So kind of the way that I had to operate, just showing up for the team, even though I knew like I just couldn't be at my best. And that first year back from injury, there's so many ups and downs. I mean, I got to be honest with you. Like there were games where I would be on 10 Advil before the game, maybe 10, 12, maybe even 15, dose it in cycles of 4, right? Just to get the inflammation down. And I would have to then go pitch. And I can say pretty certainly there wasn't a single outing where my arm just didn't hurt. But I think, last year I learned a lot of valuable lessons about kind of just like soldiering up and the importance of grit, how important it is to just be able to say like, yeah, give me the ball, let's do it. And my season did kind of end on a low note. Everybody did their job against Perkiomen, and I just came in and blew it. Walking dudes and not throwing strikes is totally super lame. And so this year I'm trying to compete in the zone, and I know I'm going to feel healthy doing it. So I'm super pumped.
Well, you have what a lot of people don't. That's accountability. So I appreciate that right there.
Thank you.
Caleb, any crippling injuries we need to know about from you?
Dude, I got bit by a dog the other day, so there was that. But other than that, knock on wood, I've been pretty healthy.
Awesome. Well, unfortunately, for the second year in a row, you guys lost a key player before the first game of the year. Jaden Rivera out for the season with a torn ACL. He was obviously a big, thump in this lineup. So what's kind of the plan now to help replace that? Nobody's going to probably go out there and hit 12 home runs on their own, but who are some faces in the lineup we should expect to kind of help make up for that?
I think losing Jaden sucks, but I think we have the guys who are going to come back. Zach Lawler, Thomas Lawler, Nicky Vanny, name a single guy in our lineup, Caleb. They're going to show up every game. All we need, it doesn't have to be a home run every time. Singles, doubles, piece the game together, and then go from there. I mean, we're going to dominate. We're going to compete.
You ready to swing the bat this year?
McCann lets me. Coach McCann, let me hit.
You don't strike me as someone who wants to swing.
I can actually turn right pretty good. I have the 100+ exit velo shirt. I did hit a ground ball back to the L screen at 102, but I would consistently just like flare it up to the catcher on like 60-mile-an-hour pitching. So I don't think that I have a future with the stick, unfortunately. But hey, 265 to right center.
Maybe a little senior day action. getting AB?
I don't know.
I
Put
hit
me at
bombs.
shortstop. Put me at shortstop.
Shortstop. I love it.
I hit bombs, by the way. So, Coach McCann, put me in.
We had your cousin Ryan Frill on last week. Do you think you can hit better than him?
Yeah.
Rating Offensive Player of the Year?
Yeah, I
love
mean, Ryan Friel, all love, but we can run live ABs.
All right, what about him on the mound and you batting?
Oh, it's game over. I'd hit
You
him.
ready?
I'd take him yard.
All right, back to the actual baseball thing. Caleb, you will be mostly playing outfield this year, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Especially with Jaden out. Is that where you played a lot last year?
Yeah, so last year was a little bit of a new role for me. I haven't played a ton of outfield. It was always something I'd done, like Little League into travel baseball in my earlier years. But naturally, I've been a catcher for most of my life. Just kind of wasn't the right fit for me last year. So ended up in the outfield and a little bit of DHing as well. This year, I'll probably have to step up and play outfield again, which I'm more than happy to do. It's a position I enjoy. It's just kind of something that came and I welcomed it. I mean, there's really nothing that I'm not willing to do for our team. So I'm excited.
Awesome. All right, so a question. You referenced the Interac as the big stage earlier, which I think I agree with. So what is it like playing in a league where it's so deep, there's so much talent, and with only 10 games, every game is basically a playoff game?
Yeah, I mean, you hit on that perfect. Like, it is kind of true when you say if you want to win the rack, you either have to just be perfect or you have to just get hot at the right time. And like you said, with only 10 games, like there's no room for 8-2. Like teams that want to win it, they don't come here to go 8-2. It's 9-1 or 10-0. And I think 9-1 is probably going to be a tie most of the time. But yeah, if big stage isn't necessarily the right word for it, I would certainly say that it's one of the most competitive leagues around. And I know, at least speaking from my perspective, I can't really talk for others, but I know, like, personally, when I'm going into a rack outing, no matter who it's against, like, you're gonna have to lock in, and you're gonna face some really good hitters. The game's always gonna be close, and maybe on the one-off time that you do blow a team out, that's not happening all the time, ever.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. It is I feel like there's a less of a gap in the top and the bottom of the conference compared to some of the other conferences that we cover. Do you guys wish there was an Interac playoff, or does it feel like the PESA is kind of, because like all the teams make it, you know, like when we had the problem last year, Haverford and Radnor, when they tied, like they just split the conference championship, but they were in different district brackets. So like they couldn't play anymore. So do you feel like that's kind of the Interac playoff, or is it kind of just a separate thing?
I mean, I think the PESA tournament, it always ends up being, well, normally it's between two Interac teams, but in the case that it's like an Interac team and I don't know what the other
like a
schools
Friend
are,
Central
Friend
or like
Central
Perkiomen,
yeah, like
Shipley.
I would say most of the time it is the Interac championship game, but I feel like a tournament would also be, I mean, because like we said earlier, like teams get hot at the right time. Like you'd make an Interac tournament, whatever team gets hot at the right time, they'll most likely make a good run. But I mean, overall, yeah, I mean, Paces is technically
It feels different. It's like you're not playing for the Interac.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're not the same team on April 9th that you are on May 28th, you know, towards the end of the year. All right, let's talk a little bit about college baseball here. This is perfect representation because we got D3, D2, and D1 here. I love it. Caleb, we'll start with you. We need a JUCO guy in here. I'm a washed-up club baseball player, so if we got JUCO, we'd really hit the 5 pillars. You are heading to D3 Washington College in Maryland, part of the Great Centennial Conference. What was that recruiting process like for you? What made it feel like home?
Yeah, so I talked to a lot of the Centennial schools on my way to the end of the process. What really stood out was just kind of the coaching staff. It was a really special place. Kind of as soon as I got down there, I just felt something different. Coach Fiala did an awesome job welcoming my family. I felt like it was a super personable tour. It felt like the entire coaching staff there was ready to kind of welcome me in, and all the players, when I was able to meet them, brought me in, and it really felt like a family just kind of getting right down there.
Do you think, are you going back to catcher? Do they want you catcher or outfield or just wherever?
Honestly, I'm coming in as utility. As I kind of mentioned, I'm willing to do whatever for the team. So wherever my defensive position may be, I'm willing to take on that role.
I think we got Brady Thompson from Garner Valley is there now.
That's right.
No, I'm not sure. Are there any other Delco people there right now?
If you consider Aiden Moore Delco, he's from around the area, but he actually went to Salesianum. So.
Okay. That's close enough. Seemed like I don't know if you saw Catholic University did a post of their Delco guys, but they didn't let the Narberth guys in. That's a tough look. That's a tough look for the borough today. All right, Gabe, you are heading to D2 Tampa. Was it just the warm weather, pretty much?
I mean, that definitely played a part. Being able to play baseball year round is definitely going to be something I'm looking forward to. But I mean, like Caleb said, the coaching staff there, head coach has been around for 25 years, kind of made a name out of himself.
Or like 10 natties, right?
10 national
something like that,
yeah. I mean, they're a very good program, which is what I knew I wanted. Kind of got to experience like talking to all levels. And I think talking to Tampa at least, I knew it was what I wanted. When I looked at the college, looked at the campus, I like saw myself there. And then the coaching staff and like the type of team they are just kept on adding on, and it got to the point where I knew where I wanted to go, and very happy with my decision.
So how was that process for you missing your junior year? Was it mostly travel, like stuff in the summer and fall?
Yeah, so I mean it was solely summer ball. But the entire off season while I was training, not even training for baseball, just like trying to get my body back to the way it was, I was sending constant videos out on just like emailing coaches. And then the summer, I wasn't really supposed to be doing anything live. Physical therapist was like, yeah, you shouldn't do it. And I was just kind of like,
but
I was like, I have to. So I told her I wasn't doing any live at-bats or anything. Went down to a camp at Tampa, did pretty well. And then at the end of the summer, I just kind of was back to like my normal self. And I just made my decision, and I'm very happy with it.
Awesome. Jacob, you're staying a little closer to home, NJIT. You missed your sophomore season, which obviously not great for recruiting, but you were still back. Were you pitching your fall of junior year yet, or was it not till last spring?
I was first competing last spring.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm sure same with him, summer and fall ball helped a lot. What kind of drew you to NJIT? Was it, I know they're obviously great academics. Are you something in that like specific field?
I just think for me, that entire year back, that first one, just with command, velo stuff, just how I was as a player, I was so up and down. But, and when you're up and down, when you're on the up, you'll talk to some schools. When you're on the down, you'll talk to some schools. But I think what really stood out to me about that coaching staff and that program in particular is that throughout my entire rehab and my entire return to throw and my entire season back, like they were on me, and they were never really off me, regardless of whether I was on a cold streak or whether I heated up. And so that kind of stood out to me because I knew they were just evaluating me as a whole. And ultimately, through one time in front of them in the fall, and the fall was when I was at my best, went up to campus. Awesome facilities. The WEC is what they call it. That's their athletic. That's the big field house. Awesome building. Great group of people. Coach McCann's connected with that staff as well, and so it just felt like the right choice for me.
Awesome. So Coach McCann obviously could not make it tonight. What do you guys kind of have to say about just what he's done with this program? It's his second year, so he had that first year under his belt. How are you guys kind of like buying into what his culture is for the future here?
I think everyone's bought in. I mean, we kind of all came together in the offseason. He wanted us to kind of build a really good team chemistry. And I would say if you guys think different, you can step in. But, I mean, we were having practices Tuesday, Wednesday mornings. Guys were there at 6:45 a.m., warmed up by 7. And, I mean, everyone's showing up. Everyone's bought in. And like Jacob said about the group chats, like, we have sophomores texting about how excited they are. We have freshmen. Everyone's bought into his kind of way of coaching, and I think we just all can't wait to get going because what he's done to this program, he's just getting started.
Yeah, adding on to what Gabe was just talking about with that culture thing. I mean, you have these freshmen who are I have freshmen texting me to ask for rides. I wasn't doing that as a freshman. Like, I know that I was nervous to approach some of the seniors, and I think that these guys have done a great job kind of reaching out and making sure that all of the freshmen feel welcomed and that they can reach out to a senior and ask for a ride. Like, we have kids that are not going to be super impactful players that are showing up at 6:45 in the morning. Haverford's a very tough academic school. These kids are taking time out of their life, whether that's taking time away from sleep, taking time away from academics. These kids are choosing to be at a baseball practice at 6:45 on a team they might not have all that much impact on because they're a younger guy. And that to me is speaking worlds to kind of what this program is on the I guess come up.
On the rise. I like on the rise. That sounds good.
Yeah. And I think to go along with what Gabe and Caleb said, I think McCann has done a great job of kind of directly telling us like, hey, this is what the standard needs to be, and what we've learned and what we didn't always know, but what Coach McCann has helped us kind of figure out is that, truth be told, man, we're just here to serve the players. Like, if a freshman tells me that he thinks these morning practices really help him, then say the words and I'll be there. And I think that's a mindset that really Coach McCann has kind of installed in all of us. I think going back to my earlier years in the program, I wasn't really a team guy, but with the help of some other forwards and then Coach McCann towards the end of that, like, optional practice, you want to set something up, like, yeah, I'll do it.
It's not optional. Yeah.
Yeah, it's optional, but it's not.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it seems like you guys have the group that wants to be there. Like,
Absolutely.
you can call it optional, but you're missing chances to get better. Well, I'm afraid to ask this question because of how Fred Jordan took it last time, but I am curious for all you guys what drew you to Haverford. Like, what would your public school have been if you went to where you're from?
I'd have been at Pencrest.
Okay. I went to Strathaven.
I would have been Harridan.
Or Lower Marion, right? You can choose, right? I think you can.
By the time ninth grade came around, we had moved.
Okay.
We moved to the Harridan part. Yeah,
Gotcha.
so-
I know some people are like right on the bubble and they can choose.
Haverford High.
Yeah, we have a lot of Haverford guys, whether Bonner kids, Carroll kids as well. So what kind of led you to Haverford? Was it the academics, the brotherhood? I know that, as Fred mentioned, it's a very close-knit, all male community.
Yeah, sure. So I'll stick the first answer in here. I came as a freshman, so that's kind of like there's a few major entry points. That's kind of the big one. You'll see about 30 to 40 guys come in the freshman year. And that was really just it drew me in because baseball culture was on a huge rise. That was the year, my 8th grade year was the year that we ended up winning that state title.
That was that long ago? Oh, I'm old. All right, keep going. Sorry, that threw me off.
Yeah, no. So there was that. The culture was awesome. We had some connections to some of the players, some of the coaches. So talking to them was great. And then the first time I got on campus, it was just kind of a different feel than anything I'd ever been really a part of. The culture, it's just different. I mean, I can speak to both of these guys having lunch in a teacher's room this year. Gabe and Jacob and myself will all spend time in a teacher's room eating lunch together with teachers. Like, we're all 18-year-olds spending time with some 40-year-olds that teach at Haverford.
Chopping it up.
That should really kind of explain to you the type of culture that Haverford runs. And really, I feel like you can pick out any Haverford student and ask them to talk about Haverford and why it's such a great place. And you could have a 15-minute conversation with them, and they'll probably convince you to send their kids there.
If I can afford it. What do you guys got?
Yes. So the best part of my day outside of training is eating lunch with Caleb, Gabe, and a couple other guys. But really, I just watch Instagram reels when we're in there. I mean, honestly, like, but as far as what led me to Haverford, so I came in 8th grade. So at the time I was 14, completely oblivious to the why of the place. So I can't really speak as to what motivated me to go there. I kind of was there because it was the only private school I applied to, but what solidified Haverford as one of the best decisions I've ever made is the way that I was treated by the upperclassmen when I was an underclassman in the program. I actually gave a speech about this year to the school where it kind of forced me to reflect on it a little bit. And point being, throughout my underclassmen years, like, I just had role models left and right, and guys who are playing college baseball now who I know I can turn to with pretty much everything, and they'll have my back. And these guys also just really helped me step into the character that I've taken on now. So good choice.
Yeah, so I came in 7th grade, which was like COVID.
I didn't even know you guys had anything other than high school, honestly.
Yeah, we have
Is it K through 12?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Is it really?
we
Wow,
have
I didn't know
pre-K.
that.
Pre-K.
Pre-K through 12.
There's daycare too.
Put that on the record before pre-K.
Yeah, which was the year after COVID started. And I think what really brought me there is wasn't really baseball. I was big into wrestling back in the day. And I kind of knew some of those coaches, and they kind of convinced me, my parents, to really get there. And I think the biggest thing for me was actually being able to go to school, because a lot of schools were shut down. And we were in school, kind of made some of my closest friends that year. And I think another thing is also the brotherhood. Like, I have the widest variety of like guys that I am close with. Like, I have my friends from who I played football with, my guys that I've grown up with, guys that I like will go out with on the weekends, my baseball team friends. Like, it's like the widest variety. Like, the brotherhood is so close knit. I bet you these guys would say the same. Like, they are friends with the widest variety of guys, whether it be the smartest kid in the grade or the kid that probably doesn't really care to even go to school and just is there for a sport. Also, like, my freshman year being so young, and like like Jacob said, the seniors, I think that was one of the best group of seniors that could have ever been there to really show us the ropes, I guess. Is that what they say?
Yeah, that place.
Yeah, like they just showed us like kind of what is expected of us, what's expected of them. And the funny part was what's expected of them was also what was expected of us. And I think that just pushed us to really reach our full potential, not only as an athlete, but also as like a student as well. And also like a part of that brotherhood, like a brother.
Awesome. Well, unless you guys have anything else to add, I think I appreciate you guys taking your time coming out.
Sure.
We're good. All right,
Thank you.
All right, boys, appreciate it. Best of luck this season. We'll obviously be getting out to some games this year. I feel like we do Haverford and EA for Game of the Week every year, so pencil that one in. But appreciate it, guys, and I'll see you soon.
Absolutely. Thank you for
Thanks,
having us.
Brandon.
Thank you.
Thank you.